Hello, my name is Carl, and I'm using this avatar because I'm addressing this to young people. And if you saw me at my age, you would turn me off immediately. So, here I am. Hi, how you doing today? What I wanted to talk to you about was that, when you see an older person, don't forget, please, that they were young once also, and that they had desires much very similar to yours when you're young, as you are young, you know, to be growing up in a household or in a world where the adults are telling you how you should and shouldn't behave, conduct yourself, dress, music, all that other stuff, and it is no fun. I mean, it just doesn't make sense. You can appreciate a little guidance, but hey, you're still a human being with wants and desires, right? So, what's the big deal? And besides, you see these adults that are doing things that go against the very rules or guidelines that they gave to you. And you're going, I don't get it. You tell me not to do something, and yet I see you doing it with no problem. So why are you telling me not to? So we get disgusted, we get frustrated, and we begin to what? Rebel. That's right. We begin to say, screw this. How, you know, when I now that I'm an old man, I can go back and tell you when I was growing up that I would sometimes hear the elderly people say, or the older people, the adults, that don't do as I say, but or don't do as I do, do as I say. And it's just like, yeah, right. Why? Anyway, um, hmm, I just kind of wanted to get this out there that you know what? We know what it's like to be young. We know what it's like to have all these rules and regulations and do's and don'ts, and then to turn around and watch the adults go flat out against the things they told you not to do. But keep in mind that A, nobody's perfect. B, the reason adults tell you that is because they know what they did when they were young. And so they're kind of hoping that maybe they can encourage you not to make the same mistakes they did. But hey, get real. We all got to go through what we got to go through. But here's the deal, we don't have to go both barrels down the tube, double loaded buckshot, and just shoot at everything we can. You know, take it easy a little bit once in a while. If you find yourself going off the deep end more often than not, you might want to think about that. Sure, it may seem fun at the time, but it can lead down a rabbit hole, as we used to say, but it can lead you down into a pretty dark place. And I'm speaking from personal experience. I was a rebellious young soul when I got fed up with all the adults telling me how I should behave and then seeing them do things that, against what they told me to do. And then you got all the input from the outside world. You got the radio, you got the TV, you got the videos, you got the movies, you got the music, you got all this stuff encouraging you to go out there and grab it and go for the gusto and be all you can be. And it doesn't matter what other people say. But you know what? Usually those people that are saying that because they don't want to be the only ones. It's easier to hide in a crowd than it is to stand out. We all want to try and stand out, but if we're all standing out in the same way, well, it doesn't make sense, does it? So I hope I haven't bored you to tears with this or sounded too much like an old man. Like I said, I wanted to reach out and let you know from my 16-year-old heart, from my 18-year-old heart, from my 20-year-old heart, that, hey, I've been there. I've done that. And yeah, it seemed okay at the time. But now that I'm much, much older, I realize just the depth of how I hurt myself and a lot of people around me by doing what I wanted to do, when I wanted to do it, the way I wanted to do it. And now today, I'm paying the price. There was an old TV show when I was growing up called Beretta, and the tagline was, "Don't do the crime if you can't do the time." Well, I did the crimes. I didn't spend any real time incarcerated, but I'm paying for it today, like I say, with the realization of all the harm I caused other people and the harm I caused myself, and the pain and the hurt, how selfish and self-centered I really was. I didn't want other people to be that way, but boy, I sure was. I hope that isn't you. And I hope you appreciate this little message. Thanks for listening. Take care. Have fun. Just don't go overboard. Okay? Okay. Ta-ta for now.